Good afternoon, everybody. Rusty Blackwood here, and I would like to welcome you to my loft as always. This is December the 1st. It is the month of Christmas, the festive season that everybody looks so forward to. Um, it's a time of love and being together with family and friends and just sitting together talking or celebrating however you do that. There are so many different traditions and different ways of celebrating, and everybody has their own way of celebrating. Um, we are coming up to Yule, the Yule tide, um, and and of course Christmas. And so for me, I celebrate both, and I am a child of nature, and so therefore Yule is a very special time for me. But I love when we get to the 25th of December and we celebrate the birth of Jesus. And so I find it I find it amazing each year. I so look forward to it. And and before I get too far into this video, I would like to thank all of you who so kindly have been thoughtful enough to contact me in emails and messages and to check in to see how I'm doing, how I've been feeling. For about the last 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks now, I have been trying to get rid of an old-fashioned cold. And no, it was not COVID. I know a cold when I get a cold. Um, and that's what I had. And I really had it good. And so, I've kind of got myself a little bit run down. With everything that had been going on in my life the last couple of months or even longer. And, the way things ended, you can tell that by a couple of my two last, or I would say, not the last video I did. That was a week or so ago. I did coming up to a week before the American Thanksgiving, and I had hoped to do another one before their Thanksgiving, but I didn't get to do that. I was just not feeling up to doing it. And but prior to that, like it's not been the best time in my life, and I did a couple of videos where I spoke about that personal side of my life. And and there again, I'd like to thank all of you who very nicely supported me. It meant so much to me. I really truly want you to know that. And it's nice to know that there are people that truly do care about me, and and I'm very thankful. I'm very blessed for my family, and I'm very blessed for my friends that I have. So thank you so very much. And so I was having trouble sleeping, and so I just think I had lost my ability to fight this cold off. And I keep my immune boosted. I mean, I eat properly and I exercise, and I try my best to look after myself. And but this time, I think because of the way I had been feeling, and I was pretty down in the dumps and that, and so I think I was, you know, the exact person for this cold to grab a hold of, and it did. And but I'm through it. It's gone. I still have the odd where I sneeze, and I got to blow my nose, but other than that, I'm feeling so much better. And so the hardest part that I find is in getting back from this is getting your strength back. I find that that really wipes it out of a person when you have a bad cold. Um, the same with flu or anything like that. But with me, it wasn't it wasn't flu. It was just as I say, a good old fashioned cold. And I've had them enough in my life to know. And I haven't had one in oh eons, tons and tons of time. And so maybe this one was kind of making up for the amount of time since I haven't had one. I don't know, but I'm very, very, very grateful and thankful for all the people that, kept an eye on me and supported me through not only that, but what led up to the cold. And and I would also like to give a shout out and say hi to Amanda, a very, very good friend of mine. Amanda and I have known each other for a very long time. She's much younger than I am, but we met in a chat room years ago. Excuse me, when she was in her teens, and 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 I enjoy Amanda. She's a very talented writer. She writes such touching, in some ways very shocking poetry. Um, maybe would be considered shock poetry. I don't know, but it's very dramatic and sometimes a little dark. But those are the types of poems that can just reach out to you and just grab you and pull you right in. And that's what her poetry does. And I followed her work for a very, very long time. And she is just recently contemplating whether she wants to start to publish. And and I'm trying to encourage her to do so. And you can do that on Amazon for next to nothing, if not nothing. I mean, I've published on Amazon for absolutely nothing, and through the KDP program. And but you just have to, you have to understand formatting and things like that. And I think that that Amanda does, because I mean she certainly knows a computer and all the types of things that it takes to when you get into graphics and stuff like that. And so I keep trying to encourage her to, get her toes in the water, and I'll help her as much as I can. And so I hope she does. And if you do, sweetie, I wish you nothing but the best. So you stick with it and don't give up. Don't get discouraged, because sometimes, as I said, when I talk about writing, I try to be as open and honest as I possibly can be, and to maybe the things that I can say, um, you know, points or talking on different topics about writing that maybe help young writers that are thinking about trying to go down that path. And I keep messing with this necklace because it just doesn't seem to want to sit right. It spent a lot of time in my car, so maybe it's gotten itself, it's gotten itself wound to the point where it's just not going to lay down properly. But anyway, that's nothing to be worried about. But so as I say, I hope that she follows her heart, and you have to believe in yourself. You can't Don't listen to people that, are downers and trying to say, "Oh no, no, you can't do this. You'll never do well," and all of this. Just block that out, because you know what you're capable of, and your ability. And this young lady has it. And I think, um, even if she publishes and it doesn't go anywhere, at least she has the satisfaction of knowing, when you see it in print, this is my work. These words came out of my head, from my feelings, and here they are. And so good luck, hon. And I hope you follow your dream here. And so, I mean, I've never been sorry that I followed mine. Uh, because I write for myself, basically. Um, I've had interviews where I've been asked, who do you write for? Well, I think the answer is supposed to be, a certain age group, or what's the word I want? Uh, Brain's not working here. Um, Certain genres that appeal to certain people, and that's the demographic that you're after, or something. But with me, I write basically for my own enjoyment, for myself. If I don't like it, I don't write it. I don't put it out there. If I don't find it entertaining, um, that that's good enough to let me realize, if it doesn't entertain me, um, then I hardly think it's going to entertain anybody else. And so that comes with time. I mean, I don't recall ever thinking that way at the very beginning, because when you write and you put something out in print, you want everybody to rave about it, to like it, and that. But I mean, you got to be realistic, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are not going to please everybody, but the first person that you got to please is yourself, and be at ease, and be proud of what you've written, and don't throw anything away. Keep it, because maybe down the road, you can pull from it, or you can use it in a different way, a different genre, um, and just follow your heart. Trust in your ability, and and you will be surprised at where that can take you. And go into it realistically. Go into it realizing that, you know, yes, you have a chance of becoming world known, clear around the world. Um, your name can become a household word, a household name. But be realistic, because there are millions of writers, and tons of them so good, much better than celebrated authors, really. But it's not an easy road. So, don't be discouraged if you get denied, and you get, if you submit and you get the letter back, sorry, not what we're looking for, and all of this. That is why I primarily chose to self-publish, because wasn't that at the beginning, yeah, nobody likes to be told no, and nobody likes to be rejected. But after a while, you know, it didn't bother me anymore. And the same if I get a negative review, um, which I have in the past. So, I mean, fortunately, I get more positive reviews than I get negative. Um, and it used to really bother me, because I think that, oh my goodness, they didn't like that, and they didn't care for me, and things like that. But you can't let that bother you, because it's one opinion. One review is one person's opinion, and and but you get to know, after a while, you get to know if what you've written is good enough to even think about putting out there. And the more you do it, the more confidence you get, and with confidence comes success, one way or the other. Um, I mean, the way the world has been the last few years, I mean, it doesn't matter. You can't you can't travel. None of the bookstores are doing anything. They're open, but they're not doing anything with authors. There's nobody coming in. You can't, anything you do has got to be virtual. And so that's what I've been concentrating on for months now. my work, my books, my titles. I've been putting them on internet book tours and doing interviews and doing different features that way, because you got to keep your name before the public's eye. I mean, in that case, I mean, the old adage, out of sight, out of mind, is very, very true. And so I do things like that, and right now, that's pretty much all there is to do in that field. Um, and so I'm going to have a little drink here. I've been trying to boost my strength up and just having some orange juice here. That tastes good, really does. At least my taste is back. And as I was talking about friends, I have a very, very good friend that we've been friends for over 20 years, and he lives in Texas. And we've never met. Excuse me. We've never met each other in person, only through internet. And wonderful, wonderful man. And we've had so many wonderful conversations. And so he writes poetry, and he writes some of the best poetry I have ever read. And it's just so natural to him. I mean, he can just look at a picture, he can think of something, and within minutes there's a finished masterpiece. And I just adore his poetry. And he's put out one collection that I have, and from cover to cover, it's just phenomenal. The journeys he can take you on, and so, as I say, prior to this cold, I'd had an upset in my life, and I've been, trying to work through that, and some days are better than others, and but I'm slowly getting there. And this person packed quite a wallet. That's the only way I can explain it. And um, I never thought that I would ever feel that again at this time in my life. But I was fortunate to have some wonderful times, and but I guess it just wasn't meant to be. And so my friend, my Texan friend, he knew, and just recently, about a week or so ago, I had put on, not even that long ago, just a few days ago, I was on Facebook, and I came across this meme that was on there, and it was so beautiful. It was all blue, and blue is my favorite color, and I was just drawn to it, and it was of this woman, and she was taken from her profile from the side, and you can see that she had big blue eyes, and I have blue eyes, and you can see one tear running down her cheek, from her eye down her cheek, and the meme on it had said, I'm going to be reading from this in a moment here anyway, had said, a tear is made up of 1% water and 99% feelings. And that is so true. And it just touched me. And so I had shared it. And my friend saw it, and he wrote this beautiful piece of poetry for me. And I'd like to share it with you. And I have his permission to read this for you to hear. It is titled a wanting tear. It's not the pain that's in a name, it's not the name that is to blame. A word has no feelings there, it lacks descriptive phrase to share. How can you read the pain I feel? It burns so deep and will not heal. Can you describe these tears that fall? Their mass, their volume, that is all. And of the waking, sleepless nights, whose only friends are noiseless lights, it's rest you want, but sleep you fight, each precious hour with all your might. You hear a voice, faint and clear, and look to see if someone's there. The voice was only in your mind, a hopeless dream that was not kind. How can one's soul hold so much pain? Deception and lies are all to blame. A trusting heart turned cryptic note with lines of love so poorly wrote. How can sunny days look so gray when watching seagulls laugh and play? Deep down inside of me there lies spring-kissed days and summer skies. By and by, these days will go away. They've come before and did not stay. What do you do the time they're here? You hear the fall of one more tear. By Link. I'm telling you, that touched me. You know, I guess that's what makes a good writer, because they can tap into not only their own feelings, but they can tap into other feelings. And when I read that, I it really gave me a boost, really did. So thank you so much. And so the days, they're getting, daylight is getting shorter every day, and within an hour from now, it will be starting to get dark. And so, I mean, doesn't leave a lot of time in a day to, if you're doing things outside or whatever where you need daylight for it, because it doesn't get daylight in the morning much before 7:30, 8 o'clock. And this will continue, the days will continue to shorten until the 21st of this month. And then that's the balance, that's the solstice. And then we go the other way, where the days will slowly grow longer. And we don't notice it much until we get well into January. Then we can start to see, the daylight hanging in there longer, and the mornings getting a little brighter sooner. And that is always, that's exciting to see when that happens, because you know that you're not going to be staying in the dark time forever. And you get a few months of that. Well, like November, December, January, February, March. Everything seems to be like in three months of things, and together, like we get the real hard part of winter in late December, January, and February, and March cannot be the nicest either. But even April cannot be the nicest. But by the time Easter comes, sometimes in late March, but most of the time in in April, and you know that the spring plants, daffodils and crocus and that are coming, and you know that rebirth is happening, and it's such a wonderful feeling. And so I I love my favorite time of year is early fall. I I love the crispness in the air, and watching the color come into the leaves, and they fall. And as much as I know what's coming, I still love the early fall. But I like late spring as well, because everything rebirth has happened and everything is coming alive, and the colors are returning and the leaves are returning, and it's just invigorating to know that life has renewed itself, and the way it's meant to be. And so anyway, I wanted to come and do a short video today, and touch base with my readers, and touch base with my friends, and and give my thank yous to all of those of you who have been so kind and so supportive. And I will be back again soon. I don't know yet just when. I never know from video to video just when it's going to be. Um, it's just, if I'm in the right mood, or I got something that I want to talk about or something like that. And so I'm just under the 30-minute mark. I'm not going to go over this time. I'm terrible for going over. And because I don't like to make them too long, because then they take too long to upload, and a lot of people they've lost their interest in listening to me uh, you know bamble and ramble on, and whatever. And so I'm going to say, for now, I'm going to say so long. I'm going to ask for God's blessings for each of you, and enjoy your days, even though they're getting short. Look forward to Christmas. Look forward to the Yule, and you know, enjoy this time of the year. The music, the smiles, um, how much more friendly people are if they open themselves to be that way. Um, and so I hope you will join me next time, and also. Be sure to check out my other videos that I have on YouTube. Um, please like them. Please comment them if you will. And please take a subscription to my YouTube channel and help it to grow in subscribers. I mean, I am it's ridiculously low. But I don't do this for monetary purposes like a lot of people do on YouTube. With me, it's just I come on and I talk, and I talk about whatever seems to come into my head at the time, and I'm me, and I show my feelings, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I hope that you will continue to support me. And so for now, I'm going to say so long. Do take care of yourselves. Be well, and look forward to this wonderful time of year. Bye for now.